Hello and welcome back to another RouterGods video. My name's Humphrey. We're going to continue on our sales engineer series, and we're going to talk about is going to enterprise, being an enterprise SE, easier, harder versus being in small business and commercial space. So this is exactly what I did. I was in commercial select at Cisco, and then I moved up to global enterprise segment, and that was dealing with much larger customers. So I've been there, and this was after 1 year in select. Then I moved up and spent the rest of my 5 to 6 years in the enterprise segment. And I got this question from Reddit. So I not exactly troll, but I lurk around the sales engineer Reddit. I will link that in the detail. Now this person has been working in SMB / commercial space as an SE. He has been offered a role in the enterprise segment, and he's basically asking, is enterprise easier compared to commercial? Now I know you guys in enterprise working right now, you're probably laughing at this. So before you can do a comparison, you always want to look at what's happening now. What am I dealing with now? So first he talks about number of customers. Right now he's dealing with lots of customers. He's also in a pooled arrangement. So what that means is he is split up between 3 or 4 account executives, account managers, and he's going to be very busy in that sense, because whenever you're in a pooled arrangement, you're the one smart guy between 4 account managers. Any one of those 4 can set up appointments for him. They're going to set up demos. He's going to be doing a lot of demos. It tends to be a little bit more hectic because one day you could be working with account manager 1, the next day account manager 2, and you could be working with multiple account managers in the same day. I've been in situations where an SE has quit, so now I'm split between 2 account managers. That's doable, especially if the 2 account managers are more senior and they are cognizant of your limits, and so they respect your time. It's like, okay, Humphrey, I know I've got you part-time. I will only use you if I really need you. So that is an account manager that knows his crap or knows her crap. On the other side, account managers that are not respectful of your time, you have to push back a little bit. That's another video for the future. Number of customers in enterprise is going to be a lot less, a lot fewer. So it could be 7-ish, it could be 3, it could be 5. So in that sense, it is easier keeping things together. You have instances where you only have 1 customer. So it could be a major utility, it could be a major multinational, it could be a food customer, it could be a bank of a certain country. In that sense, if you only have 1 customer, it's super easy to keep things together because you just have 1 customer. Now, you could be dealing with multiple departments in that customer, multiple subsidiaries. So for example, in Arizona, there's a major multinational, and yeah, I made a joke with the SE for this multinational. You only have 1 customer. And he's like, yeah, well, that customer has subsidiary A, is subsidiary B, subsidiary C. Don't be misled that it's just 1 customer. Yeah, it's 1 customer overall, but you're now also dealing with all of the departments under it. So it could be just as challenging. If they're all under 1 building, all under 1 address, then it does make it easier, because sometimes this has been my case in Seattle, where I met with a certain customer. I go to that customer, I go to the location, the headquarters, and in the morning I meet with this department. And then we have lunch somewhere, and then in the afternoon, I'm meeting at the same company, but a different department. It's just on a different floor, a different part of the office, a different part of the headquarters. So yeah, it's easy because I don't have to get in a car to drive somewhere. I don't have to call a Grab. I'm within the same building, but I'm kind of going up and down all over the place within the same building. That engagement time. So this particular SE is talking about the differences in engagement times. Right now, it's very fast. You do a demo, they buy. It's very short, maybe a couple weeks to a couple months. So this is from the start of the engagement, the start of the demo, to maybe the first meeting, to the buying time, to the PO. Could be a month or 2, could be 3 months, maybe at the longest. Enterprise, no. In enterprise, it's going to be several months to years. I've had deals that have lasted years, multiple years. So yeah, engagement times last a long time. They last longer than teams. They last longer than managers. Managers can go away. So good example. This doesn't happen too often in commercial. But in enterprise, I've had several instances where you've been working on a deal and the manager that has helped you on that deal, that was the primary contact, has left. Or worse, you can use your imagination of worse, what worse is. But the person you are dealing with is no longer there. So the new guy that comes in, he's got his own agenda. He wants to we'll start with a clean slate. So you are basically starting from scratch. So yeah, engagement times definitely play a big part in enterprise. They last for a long time. And that also affects your commission. Your paycheck tends to be more even because deals are always hitting. It's a constant stream of closing. So you don't have this in enterprise where you may not close a deal for months. Some SEs don't close a deal for the entire year. Like their variable is 0 because they've closed nothing, because it's one big customer, it's all one big deal. 0, 0, 0, 0, and then boom, 300, 400, 700%. I've seen that multiple times in enterprise. Your variability in enterprise is going to be like this. It's going to be a roller coaster. Or it could be more accurately, it's a roller coaster, but you spend most of your time down here at the bottom with no sales, and then you have this major jump up. Okay, going back to the pool a little bit, the pooled SE. So he's split amongst multiple account managers. He's slammed in his schedule right now. His work-life balance is not that great, and he's talking to his manager about whether enterprise will be better. I will tell you that in general, it's going to be the same or worse. And the reason for that is you may think that having a single or a few customers makes it easier, but it really doesn't. Your engagements are more complex. In commercial, your engagements are, your customers have fewer locations, they have smaller infrastructure. They also tend to have IT teams that are very all-in-one. I call them superstar IT people, so they wear many different hats. So when I was a network engineer at many companies, I did it all. I mean, I was the VMware guy, the network guy, the Windows guy, the Linux guy, I changed the toner on the printers, I did like everything. And you see this a lot in small businesses. In enterprise, they tend to be more siloed. One guy just does DNS. Actually, that's a good example. I've been at many companies where one person, their whole job is to handle DNS. That's it. That's all they do. At the same place I'm thinking about, there was one lady who handled IP addresses. They have so many IP addresses. They handled not the Blue Coat. Is it Blue Coat? I'm trying to remember what the IP manager, the major IP manager is. It's been a while. It's been a year since I've worked, so I'm trying to remember these tools that I ran into every day. But there's this IP management software that pretty much a lot of people use, and her whole job is that. You have to talk to more people. You have to, okay, now you have to get the buy-in from her, and you have to get the buy-in from him, and now you have to meet okay, we've convinced the network infrastructure team, but now you have to convince the security team. And that was always my big complaint. Not really complaint, but I kind of dreaded that the network guys were easy because I used to be a network engineer. It's easy for me to talk to the network engineering guys. Cool, they give the thumbs up, but now you have to convince those guys, and we hate those guys. And that's another thing, team dynamics. You're now dealing with team dynamics in a large organization. In commercial and small business, just one department handles all of IT. Enterprise, this department handles security, this department handles switches. So here you've got to convince all the different, in a big deal, got to jump, meet this team of 5, meet this team of 3, meet this, and then we got the Palo team, meet the Palo team. Palo team? Or meet the firewall team that loves Palos. That's always a fun thing to do. Okay, let's talk about deals and losing deals. In commercial, in small business, you're going to be cooking many deals at the same time, dozens, hundreds maybe. I mean, who knows, right? But you have so many deals cooking that if you lose one, okay, it sucks depending on the dollar amount, but you're going to win other deals. So it evens itself out. It's kind of like a slow burn of deals winning, deals losing. There's so many that one particular deal isn't going to make or break you. Now in enterprise, holy crap, the deals are large. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, $500,000 to $1 million or two, to I've had deals of 40 plus million on the table. You lose, I mean, if you lose a 40, thankfully I've never lost a $40 million deal. But if we had lost a $40 million deal, or when you lose anything over like 5 mil, hurts. It hurts. So because that could have been your big deal of the year. That could have been the deal that puts your paycheck into accelerators. That could be the deal that makes the difference between $200,000 a year and $500,000 a year. So when your deal is the difference between 200K and 400K and 500K and beyond, it is definitely more stressful. But winning, on the other hand, winning is totally awesome in enterprise because these are the big honking deals, and they also get you more visibility. And actually, let's talk about visibility. In commercial, your deals are small to where if you need help from the product managers, you have a particular product, and now you need the expert on that product. Well, these product managers are dealing with many different teams for the whole company. And you, with your $50,000 deal, you're asking questions, you want a presentation from the product manager. That's not going to happen. It's not going to work that way. Unless the product manager is super, like they're super awesome, they're not busy that day, which never happens. But compare that to enterprise, where you have a $45 million deal on the table, everyone will help you. There will be no one that doesn't want to help you. So the visibility that you get is insane. Managers and directors and senior vice presidents will know your name because you are on this deal. And if you win it, it is much easier, in my personal opinion, my experience, it is much easier for an enterprise SE to get promotions, to get better roles, to move in the company. When you do a good job, when you close a deal, you're the one getting into PowerPoints, you're the one going up on stage at sales conferences and the yearly conference thing. This is the guy who closed XYZ company, $40 million. This is the guy that closed $12 million, $20 million, whatever. So enterprise, the visibility that you get is much, much higher. Okay, let's talk about customer relationships. In enterprise, since you're dealing with the customer for longer times, more complex deals, you're basically almost sometimes living at the customer, then you're going to be developing more deep relationships. You're going to be going to more dinners, you're going to be hanging out more, you're going to be going to get drinks, you're going to know these people quite well. Whereas in SMB and in commercial and select, it's hit and run. You go in to do the demo, they like it, they do a test, then you're gone. You're going to be meeting so many people, it's going to be tough to put names together, tough to remember names. My personal experience, I still keep in touch with many of my customers, even now I'm not working at Cisco, because our relationship has gone far beyond just me being the sales engineer. We're buddies. I mean, we're cool. Okay, and I'll leave you with this. It's kind of a funny, maybe not so funny observation that I've seen in enterprise versus commercial, is that in enterprise, both the employees that you deal with, all your coworkers, and the customers, they tend to be older and they tend to be, I don't want to say angry, grumpier, jaded, I guess would be a good term. And because you're dealing with big stuff, you're dealing with more risk, they tend to be more conservative in their, you don't want to, I think it'll work, try it out. That's not how you want to roll in enterprise. Yeah, maybe it works. You're the first customer trying it. No. That's not going to work. I'm going to turn on this beta feature for you. No. That works in commercial. Commercial and small business, they'll try anything because it's like, yeah, cool, whatever. If it blows up, big deal, big whoop, right? But yeah, in enterprise, it's older people. It's, I don't want to make, well, okay, we'll go there since I've gone there. People are 40, 50, 60 years old. Everyone's got gray hair, right? Whereas in commercial, it's going to be the younger guy. He's just got a certification. He's all jazzed up. He's like, yeah, I'll try, whatever, right? So these are the guys that you could throw the learning credits, and you can get them into conferences and all that stuff. Whereas an enterprise, yeah, I've found an enterprise certification and education classes, if you can get them learning credits, that doesn't seem to resonate as much because these are older guys. They don't care. They've got multiple CCIEs already, or maybe on staff they've got 10 plus, 50 plus CCIEs. They don't need another CCIE. It could matter to management and really upper management. But yeah, it's just an observation that I've seen is enterprises old, grumpy folks versus commercial, younger folks. So if working with a younger crew matters to you, a younger, maybe more vibrant crew matters to you, I would say I would lean towards commercial, small business, and select. And that also counts for as an AM. Generally what I've seen is people start as inside small business, smaller accounts, and then after a couple of years, they generally move up to select, medium-sized accounts, and then they want to get to enterprise. That's kind of the trajectory that I see, although there are people that make their whole career in select or their whole career in small business. But generally, what I see is people want to move up from small business to commercial to select, and then enterprise, and then maybe a global account manager. And this is like a GAM, a global account manager, is for a multinational that has its headquarters in one particular country, and you handle it all. For the entire world, you are responsible for this company. Let's call it a major Japanese electronics company with 4 letters. You are their one account manager that handles the whole freaking world. That's generally the prestige level, the career progression that I see. Okay, Humphrey with RouterGods. This has been a nice, hopefully a nice informative chat about, is enterprise different or easier potentially than commercial? I talked about the complexity, I talked about the teams, I talked about the age, talked about a whole bunch of stuff. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the section below. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, put them there also. I make a lot of videos from there. So stay safe, take care, and I'll see you on the next Sales Engineer video. Okay, bye.